Hey everybody, this is Perch. And as we know, Disney Plus will be doing Secret Invasion, a series that was originally a comic book series, and this time is going to feature primarily Nick Fury, Maria Hill, and Daenerys Targaryen, the actress, not the actual character for Game of Thrones, although that would be crazy if that was the case. Anyway, we also heard from Marvel Comics that they would be doing Secret Invasion 2, called Secret Invasion, a sequel without the sequel name in the comics later this year as an event. So many of you have been saying, what is Secret Invasion? I just started reading comics around 2015, 2016. I was part of that big new diverse audience that Marvel encouraged to come. And Secret Invasion, as it turns out, actually came out several years ago, all the way back in yesteryear of 2008. So what was this series and what was it all about? Well, don't worry, it's actually very, very simple, and I'm going to explain it to you.
Buckle up, buckaroo!
You see, many years ago, after the Kree-Skrull War actually was a galactic conflict that was initiated when the Kree hero Captain Marvel arrived on Earth after an extended stay in the alternate dimension, the Negative Zone, and was captured by the Avengers. It was revealed that he had conceived a child with Skrull Princess Anel during this period of time. Mar-Vell absorbed a lethal amount of radiation, but thankfully, the Vision is able to drain it from him before he dies several years later of cancer. This ultimately leads to a giant galactic conflict where the Avengers must interfere between the Kree and the Skrull. And just in the middle of this, the Avengers are attacked on Earth and in space by teams of Mandroids and of Triton of the Inhumans, who is looking for the Fantastic Four but find the Avengers instead and are trying to find his leader, Black Bolt, when his brother Maximus the Mad has seized power in the homeworld of Atlantis. The Avengers aid Triton, and Mar-Vell is ultimately taken to the heart of the Skrull Empire. After being advised that the captive Avengers will be executed, is forced to build an Omniwave projector. The Avengers arrive in Skrull space and hold off the alien fleet while Mar-Vell is forced to use a projector which casts a temporarily freed Rick Jones back into the Negative Zone. But Jones is rescued from the zone by Kree ruler Supreme Intelligence, who unlocks hidden mental powers, i.e. the Destiny Force, in Rick Jones and sends a wave of Golden Age heroes with the Avengers against the Skrulls, which ends the war. The heroes return to Earth, discover that the Avengers' reputation has been restored. However, little known to most of the Marvel characters, the Illuminati, a group of Marvel heroes comprised of Iron Man, Black Bolt, Doctor Strange, Reed Richards, Namor, and Professor X, travel to the Skrull homeworld in an attempt to warn them that future reprisal and invasions in Earth space will not be tolerated. Their warning fails, however, and the Skrulls capture the Illuminati and study them, ultimately gaining valuable insights about their DNA and how they work before escaping. This leads to the eventual successor of the Skrull's throne, Princess Vernaki, who claims a prophecy foretold the annihilation of the Skrull homeworld. However, the Emperor Dorek exiles her to a prison world for inciting religious extremism. Little known to them, though, the Skrull homeworld was destroyed by Galactus, and Vernaki becomes the Empress by lineage and guides an invasion of Earth, armed with the knowledge of superhumans gained having studied the Illuminati. The Skrulls capture several superhumans and infiltrate Earth's defenses, with Vernaki posing herself as Spider-Woman. Unfortunately, at the moment in which she posed as Spider, the Avengers were undergoing deep trauma and problems in the form of a distraught Scarlet Witch who had started to lose her mind and had staged a giant attack which included Jack of Hearts, who had been thought dead before now, arriving at Avengers Mansion as a zombie, destroying it, and the Vision crashing into the Avengers jet and vomiting up eggs that spawn Ultron drones which attack the Avengers and lead She-Hulk to, consumed with bloodlust, tear the Vision in half and brutally attack Wasp and Captain America. And while this is going on, Captain America was breaking up with the Scarlet Witch at the United Nations, who, using her power, made Iron Man, Tony Stark, believe he is drunk and insult the Latverian ambassador. Because he did this, this caused the UN Security Council to revoke Avengers clearance again. But all of this culminated in a giant attack at Avengers Mansion, where Kree soldiers, who are not actually Kree soldiers, but Visions apparated by by the Scarlet Witch caused Hawkeye to explode after his arrows were hit. This led Doctor Strange, who had appeared for the first time since the Dark Dimension invasion several months earlier, to arrive and explain that Scarlet Witch had lost her mind as a result of her children, which were actually magical constructs Wanda had created, an impossible conception between her and the Vision, but were not her children and absorbed by Master Pandemonium, with the memory being suppressed by Wanda's mentor, Agatha Harkness, a witch, reasoning that the children are natural constructs and it was better for Wanda to forget. But as she remembered, it caused Wanda to lose her sanity and blame the Avengers for her loss of children. This led to the Avengers ultimately disbanding as a team and Scarlet Witch being taken by her father, who was not actually her father, unbeknownst to her, Magneto, off to the island of Genosha, which had recently been attacked and decimated by Sentinels. When the Avengers decided to follow up on the island, they encountered Quicksilver, who was urging Scarlet Witch to do something, and Magneto, who felt helpless. Wanda, once again using her power, created an alternate reality in where the mutants were dominant. This new world found several of the Marvel heroes in the Avengers actually living normal, boring lives while the mutants flourished on the planet. However, this new world was not meant to be, as the heroes, comprised of both mutants and Avengers, decided to wage a war on Magneto's stronghold, break the Scarlet Witch out of her hallucination, bring Hawkeye back to life and where he would assume the identity of Ronan, and ultimately free the world from House of M, but not before showing Carol Danvers what it was like to be an actual hero and encouraging her to be more than the Miss Marvel character and do more with her life. Now, meanwhile, the Skrull Empress is posing as Spider-Woman, clearly one of the most powerful Marvel heroes to date, as an attempt to infiltrate the characters. As she begins to infiltrate, the planet is consumed with a civil war, sparked when the new warriors of Night Thrasher, Namorita, Speedball, and Microbe battle a group of villains, including Cobalt Man, Speed Freak, Coldheart, and Nitro in Stamford, Connecticut, while filming a reality television show. Nitro explodes, killing 600 people, including many of the new warriors, and forcing the government to pass a new law registering superheroes. This divides the superhero community, who battle back and forth, trying to determine whether heroes should operate autonomously or under governmental control. The actions of civil war and resulting chaos led Spider-Man to reveal his secret identity to the world, telling them he is Peter Parker, and Iron Man creating a cyborg version of Thor, which immediately kills Giant Man and further escalates as the two sides battle, a conflict which also sees the Punisher join Captain America in fighting for the rights of heroes to remain unregistered. The characters find themselves in the negative zone, which had been converted into a giant superhuman prison, and spill out onto the streets of New York, where, in the final moments of the conflict, where it appears Captain America has the upper hand, he surrendered, realizing that the damage being done is the wrong thing to do. Captain America is summarily executed by Sharon Carter, who had been mind-controlled as part of a scheme of the Red Skull, and the world seemed to slowly get back to normal. However, some of the Avengers, still not wanting to register, became the new Avengers and had on their team Spider-Woman. Spider-Woman, at this time, is actually Princess Vernaki, who is preparing to invade the Earth. In a battle in Japan, the new Avengers realized that Elektra, the leader of the ninja group known as the Hand, was really a Skrull named Pagon, who died in battle. Realizing that she needed to do something dramatic, Vernaki, posed as Spider-Woman, takes a corpse to Tony Stark to sow distrust among the superhuman community. She joins the mighty Avengers, claiming it will throw the Skrulls off balance. Posing as agents of the spy organization S.H.I.E.L.D., meanwhile, the Skrulls attempt to mine the metal vibranium in the Savage Land and battle the new Avengers before ultimately being killed. This shows a Illuminati member, Black Bolt, who had been a Skrull, and two new Super Skrulls possessing all new powers. The Avengers, meanwhile, are attacked by Skrulls posing as heroes in the Savage Land, and Reed Richards is wounded by the Skrull Creedy Null, who is posing as Henry Pym, seconds after determining a way to identify the shapeshift. After several battles between Earth's heroes and the Skrulls in Manhattan and the Savage Land, Mr. Fantastic manages to develop a device that can detect the aliens. Criminal Kingpin Hood, meanwhile, aids the heroes, deciding no more Earth is bad for business, while Vernaki regroups with her forces in New York City for a final battle against the combined Avengers, which are now aided by Nick Fury and his new Secret Avengers, Thor, Daredevil, Khazar, and other superhuman teams like the Young Avengers and the Thunderbolts, which was being led by Norman Osborn at the time. Vernaki is wounded by the Avenger Hawkeye, while Creedy Null activates a booby trap placed on the heroine Wasp, detonating her and killing her. Vernaki is then shot and killed by Norman Osborn using a weapon he created with intelligence stolen from Deadpool. The last remains of the Skrull Armada are destroyed, and Iron Man located the missing heroes, which included Hawkeye's ex-wife, Mockingbird. S.H.I.E.L.D. is dissolved by executive order of the President of the United States, Barack Obama, while a last Skrull, posing as the Avengers' butler, Edwin Jarvis, leaves with a child of Jessica Jones and Luke Cage, but is killed by Bullseye shortly after returning the child. Norman Osborn is then placed in charge of S.H.I.E.L.D., renames it Hammer, and this leads to Dark Reign. So really, when all is said and done, not that complicated.
Or so the Germans would have us believe.
And that's what Secret Invasion is all about. Thanks for listening.